addresses, anything like that while the recording is on. All right, today's date is July 22nd, 2022. In Donley County, Texas, I call cause number 7630 in the interest of Akia Renee Antoinette Tates. What says the state?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Also present by telephone is LaShonda Yarborough. Are you ready to proceed, Ms. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Present by telephone also is Arthur Tates. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Tates?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mrs. Strada, would you announce the partial agreement, please?
Thank you. And Your Honor, I would offer as State's Exhibit 1 a copy of the DNA test report that I believe was submitted electronically prior to court.
Yes, I do have a copy.
Thank
Admitted
you.
as State's number 1.
Thank you. And we ask the court to take judicial notice that the report states that Arthur Tates cannot be excluded as the biological father of the child, Akia Tates.
I'll take judicial notice of the contents of the court's file, specifically the DNA test results showing that Mr. Tates cannot be excluded as Akia's father.
The parties have also agreed that Ms. Yarborough will be the managing conservator and Mr. Tates will be designated as the possessory conservator of the child, and that he should have a standard possession order.
All right. And what is yet to be decided?
Child support and medical support.
All right, let's have some testimony on those issues then. Go ahead, Mrs. Strada.
I'd like to call Mr. Tates.
Mr. Tates, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead. Mrs. Strada's going to ask you some questions, and then I'll give you a chance to just tell me your thoughts on everything, okay? Go ahead, Mrs.
Yes, ma'am.
Strada.
Thank you. Mr. Tates, what type of work do you do?
All right. I drive a forklift for Sweeney Lumberyard,
Okay, where do you live?
Fort Worth, Texas.
How long have you lived there?
I've been living in Fort Worth since 2013.
Okay, how long have you worked for Sweeney?
A year.
How much do you make? Are you paid hourly?
And I've made $16 an hour.
Okay, how many hours do you work every week?
40.
Do you have any other children under 18?
Yes, I do.
How many?
I have 2 with Akia is 3. My other daughter just turned 3 today. My son turned 6, November 22nd.
Okay, and do you have child support orders for those 2 children?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have, and we calculated the guideline child support based upon your 40 hours a week, making $16 an hour, having 2 other children, and that your guideline child support would be $374 a month. Is that your understanding?
Yes, that's my understanding.
But you're not in agreement with that, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Can you explain to the court why?
'Cause I feel like this year I'm paying $1,500 a month on my bills and stuff. I'm renting a townhouse. I pay $1,500 a month. Then plus my son and my daughter go to daycare, stuff like that. So when I look at my check, I'm like, basically like I'm also paying my fees on parole. So I have to pay that. If I don't pay that, then that's like part of my violation that I have to do. And then plus I got classes and stuff that I have to go to. So giving $300 a month, that's not gonna cut it. That's
How often are you paid?
I get paid every week.
Okay. How long are you going to be on parole?
I'll get off parole August the 24th of 2027.
How long were you incarcerated?
2.5 years.
Right. So when were you released?
I got released last year, August the 24th, 2021.
Okay. And since that time, have you provided any support for Akia?
Not recently, but I just sent her stuff for her birthday.
Okay. Do you have health or medical insurance available through your job?
Yes, I do.
And how much is it?
It's 116 a month.
Is that just for the children or does that include you?
That's including, it'd be including all three of us. Right now, it's me and my two that's here. But it'd be four added on to it.
If you
It'd be
added
a
her?
full pay.
Okay.
If I do,
What insurance company is that with?
a miracle.
AmeriCorps?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And does it also include dental insurance?
Yes, it do. Dental and eye and hearing.
Okay. So Akaya she just turned 3 in April. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever met Akaya in person?
I did a duo with her. I talked to her on the phone.
Okay. When she was born, were you incarcerated yet?
Yes, I was.
And since you've been released, have you had a chance to see her?
Nope. No, ma'am, I haven't. I had death in my family.
Okay. But you understand that her mother, Miss Yarborough, she encourages and wants you to have a relationship with your daughter. Do you understand that?
I understand it.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like Judge Sundstrom to know?
The only thing I want the judge to know is that I want to just turn my rights over to the grandmother. I don't want to. It's not saying that I'm not going to take care of my child, but I just want to turn my rights over to the grandmother. That's about it.
Okay. And we talked about that's not something that's before the court today and not something that could be done by the Attorney General's office or before the court in this proceeding. Can you understand that?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Do you have any plans to come visit your daughter after this proceeding and after this order?
Yeah, not right now, not personally. It's like I say, I will make time to go visit, but not right now.
Okay. All right. What if you're saying that the $374 a month is not enough, or I mean, it's too much? What are you proposing?
I'm not proposing nothing right now because, like I just told you, that's what I'm paying right now for my son and my daughter. I'm paying $180 a month for them to go to daycare, and I just cost up $1,500 for my son to go to school. He's getting ready to start school August the 8th. He's already in school, but it's a different school that's uniforms and everything else. So then you telling me $300, almost $400 a month, give it to her? Nah, that's unacceptable. She's saying she's been on her job 3 years. So basically, like, if you've been on your job 3 years, you shouldn't even be getting that kind of money anyway.
Okay, but you understand you do have a duty to support your daughter. Is that?
I understand everything. It's not like this is my first child. I have 11 kids. I have kids that's grown. I understand all that. This is not my first time going through child support court.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Barbara, do you have any questions you want to ask him?
You said what?
Do you have any questions for Mr. Tate?
Yeah, well, I don't got any questions, but I got something to say.
Okay, your turn is
that
coming
part-
up. Ms. Yarborough, just hold on. You're going to get a turn in just a minute.
Okay.
Ms. Estrada, you may call your next witness.
I call Ashonda Yarborough.
Ms. Yarborough,
Yes, ma'am.
solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Estrada.
Okay, so Ms. Yarborough, you heard the agreement announced regarding conservatorship and establishing paternity, and is that your agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And you think that it would be appropriate for Mr. Tates to have a standard possession order in the event he were to exercise it? Is that still your position?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any type of health insurance or health coverage for your daughter?
Yes. She get a Mara group. She been getting a Mara group ever since she was born.
Okay. And how do you feel about changing that to Mr. Tate's insurance?
No, ma'am. Just like he said, he don't want no dealings with me. So what I want is my baby to stay on the medication she's been having since birth. I'm the one take her to the doctor. I'm the one take her to the dentist. I'm the one do everything. My mama babysit my baby while I work because she wasn't in school. She going to school, which is Head Start, when all my other kids go to school.
Okay. All right. When is the last time before today that you saw or spoke to Mr. Tate's?
When he was in prison, when I answered my phone.
Okay, so it's been over a year at least?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he ever offer, I guess if he hasn't contacted you, he hasn't offered to enroll your daughter in any type of insurance through his employer?
No, I didn't even know he worked. I didn't even know he worked nowhere. Because if I knew he worked, I would have already turned it in.
All right. You have more than one case, child support case, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In one of your other cases, do you have a non-disclosure finding that your personal information's not disclosed due to safety concerns?
That's right.
And do you believe that should be carried over into this order as well, due to safety concerns from that other person not involved with this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You mentioned that Mr. Tate's provided or sent a birthday present for your daughter. Are you requesting any back child support from the time that he was released from prison, or are you just requesting to start fresh in September?
No, I want it since birth. I've been taking care of my baby since
You're
birth.
not getting it. You're not getting it. You're not getting it.
Mr. Tate's
About
not your
all
turn to
the
talk right now.
Okay.
You're not getting it.
okay. About all her stuff since birth, even before she was born.
Okay. So, but he was
And
incarcerated.
I just left Walmart last night, getting all my babies they school clothes.
Okay.
What that got to do with the question she just asked you?
Tate's, Mr.
I'm asking.
You don't get to talk right now. Please don't talk. It's Miss Yarborough's turn. And you'll get a turn again in a minute. Go ahead, Miss Yarborough.
Ms. Yarborough,
Okay.
so do you agree that Mr. Tate's was incarcerated when your daughter was born?
Yeah, and then he got out of prison.
Okay, and he was released approximately 1 year ago. Is that correct?
When he was released, when?
About a year ago, before he started his
Almost
current job.
a year. Ma'am, it's almost a year.
Mr. Tate's, please don't talk. I'm going to give you a chance in just a minute, okay?
Come on, man. Y'all.
Okay. Ms. Yarborough, do you know when he was released from prison?
He was released sometime in August.
In August of 2021?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Yarborough. Is there anything you'd like the judge to know that I have not asked you?
Well, the part about him, this is my what I'm gonna say to y'all and him. The part about him living in a townhome, that don't belong to him. That belongs to the woman that he with. So yeah, he gonna help our bills because he the man of the house. I don't have anything against my baby daddy. It's just he letting that woman, in for his, his kids. He got 3 small children. I'm not taking up for just my baby. I'm taking up for the other 2 too. He stayed with the woman. That was that woman's house when he met her. Remember, he been locked up 2 years, so she was already staying there. So $374 a month, which is gonna be 100 and something, 90 some per week, is not bad. It's not like you're gonna take it like all at once. You're gonna break it down in portions. This is not my first child support case. So $1,600 and what he paid for those other kids don't have nothing to do with Akaya, because Akaya was before the other little girl. That's what I'm saying. $1,600 a month in bills, rent or whatever he paid with that $1,600, whatever he just said. That don't have nothing to do with the support. I've been doing it all these years right here. My mama helps me out. My mama helps me babysit. I don't pay daycare. My baby ain't never been to a daycare. I don't even want my baby in the daycare. Too much going on, too much happening. So my mama babysits my baby. But him paying child support is right. I don't want my baby on his insurance. I want my baby on the insurance she been, because I'm the one to take her to wherever she got to go. I ain't got time to be digging up no numbers, no them, like the medical number, dental number. Now I want to use the same number that I always had.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Yarborough. All right, Ms. Estrada, anything more?
No, Your Honor, I'll state rest.
I think Mr. Tates is gone.
You may be.
Yes, because he's guilty. He's guilty. He don't want to pay $374 a month for a baby. When he got out of prison, I got the picture on Facebook. He went to go see his other two kids and not a guy.
Ms. Yarborough.
And then he kept coming.
Okay, I understand. Go ahead, Ms. Estrada. What's the state requesting?
The only thing that we would request would be a Medicaid or reimbursement for the state of government-sponsored medical assistance program of $35 a month, guideline child support at $374 a month, and that's based upon his testimony of $16 an hour, 40 hours a week, having two other children that are minors that are not before the court for whom he provides support. And we would also request that the child be maintained on the government-sponsored medical assistance program by Ms. Yarborough due to the fact that he's not seen the child and that Mr. Tates and Ms. Yarborough are unable to effectively communicate.
All right. All right, based on the testimony, I do find that Mr. Tates is the legal and biological father of Akaya, in order that the parent-child relationship is established for all purposes. I'm appointing Ms. Yarborough as a sole managing conservator and Mr. Tates as a possessory conservator with a standard possession order. I'm ordering Mr. Tates, let me run the numbers quick. There he is again. All right, Mr. Tates, you're back with us.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
Okay. I'm ready to make an announcement. Do you have anything you want to add, Mr. Tates?
Yes, ma'am. It's like this here. She's saying she been taking care of that baby since the baby been born. No, she haven't. The baby been with her mom. She's saying she working one, two jobs. And how is you working 1 or 2 jobs taking care of what, 3, 4, 4 or 5 kids? That's not true. So I feel like this year, if I'm gonna pay anything, I'd rather give it to her mama than give it to her. That's not right for me to give her something and you sitting here you working 2 jobs. At first you was working 3 jobs. Then all of a sudden you down to 1 job. You say you've been there 3 years. That don't even sound right. And then when I try to sit here and talk to you, the first time when I got locked up, I sit there and try to talk to you. They did the DNA, which I wasn't tripping and everything. I wasn't upset about it. But the whole ordeal is the fact that you saying that you doing this and doing that.
You need to be talking to me. What do you want me to do?
Your Honor, I want you to give my rights to her mother instead of letting her have my rights. I don't want my rights belonging to her. I want my rights to be done to her mother.
Okay, Mr. Tates, I'm sorry, I cannot do that.
Well,
You have to go to a different type of court, and you have to have some help and file paperwork to terminate your rights. It doesn't happen. It doesn't just happen, even if the parents agree. You are, according to the DNA test, you're responsible for this child. All
I
right,
understand, ma'am. I didn't mean to cut you off. And then I understand I'm responsible for my child and everything. But like I say, I don't want no dealings with Miss Yarbrough. I ain't got nothing to say about, nothing else to say. I just want my rights given to her grandmother, to the grandmother instead of to her.
all right. Based on the testimony, let me repeat, I do find that Mr. Tates is the legal and biological father of Akaya and order the parent-child relationship established for all purposes. I'm appointing Ms. Yarbrough as a sole managing conservator and Mr. Tates as a possessory conservator with a standard visitation order. I'm ordering Mr. Tates to pay Ms. Yarbrough child support of $365 per month
No,
starting
no,
1st,
no,
2022.
no.
And continuing each month thereafter. I'm also ordering Mr. Tates to reimburse the state $50 a month for the Medicaid. Ms. Yarbrough is ordered to keep this child on the Medicaid, and if there are any bills not covered by insurance, each party will pay half. I'm granting the request for non-disclosure. Ms. Yarbrough's information will not be in this order because of a problem with someone outside of this case. I'm not assessing, I'm waiving court costs. Is there any other relief I need to address?
Retroactive child support, I believe that Ms. Yarbrough made that request.
I'm granting 11 months of retroactive child support at $365 a month.
How much?
I'll run it right now.
Man, Your Honor.
$1,015 to be paid at additional $40 per month.
Ain't this a bitch?
Mr. Tates, that's my decision. And Ms. Estrada is going to prepare that order for my signature. I'm going to sign off on it.
So you saying your decision is to make me pay her this amount of money, and you're not even concerned about my kids that's here.
Mr. Tates, you are paying too much on the other children. Because
how am I paying too much and my kids are in school? My baby down there is not even in school. She got my baby just sitting at home. My baby should have been in school.
Mr. Tates, you need to calm down.
Man, Your Honor, good day. Good day, Your Honor.
Each of your children, okay. Anyway, that's my decision. Anybody has 3 business days during which you can request a new hearing. If you do that, you get a new hearing in front of the district judge, and he would start over, Judge Messer, and make his own decision. If nobody does that, then this order starts to become final. All right. Ms. Yarbrough, you should get a copy in the mail within about 2 weeks. If you don't, it'll either come by mail or email. I don't know which. If you don't get one within that time frame, call the Amarillo AG's office and just remind them to send you one, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you and your family, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Can I say something before you hang up?
Yes, ma'am.
Not to mention it, but you see how he's so much concerned about the 2 and forward and not her. It's like he want all the money to go to them and not split it up. These kids didn't ask to be here, I didn't even know that the other baby mama was pregnant the same time as me. So that was a surprise. That's not my fault. I told him I can have kids before we went on. So that's his fault. But it seems like to me he not being fair to my baby. But I thank you. I thank you. You see, he keep hanging up and calling back because he know I'm right. So I thank you for everything.
All right. Good luck.